We're going to call this meeting to order at 3:20, and Councilman Warner, would you give us the blessing, sir?
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, Lord. We thank you for this time of fellowship. Lord, we just ask that you just bless this meeting to help us remember that this is your business. Lord, we just ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Roll call, Sheila.
Yes, sir. David Walkinston. Marvin. Bill England. Keith Austin.
Here.
Jack Baker.
Here.
Harley Buzzard. Joe Bird.
Aye.
Sean Crittenden.
Aye.
Ricky Hargis. Wanda Hatfield. Rex Jordan.
Here.
Dick Lay.
Here.
Curtis Snell.
Here.
Janice Taylor.
Here.
David Thornton.
Amen.
Victoria Vasquez.
Aye.
And Brian Warner.
Amen.
We did a quorum.
All right, thank you, Shelley. Down to approval of minutes, to your motion to enter.
So moved.
So moved. Second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Down to reports, Ms. Diane Kelly, you're first on the list, and we're running a little late. She's got to get to a meeting.
Thank you.
And if you want to
I
let your
appreciate it.
report stand.
Well, yeah, but I want to just tell you a couple of
Okay,
things.
all right, okay.
We're working with the prior schools. They have an alternative school where they work with these kids to get into the manufacturing area. And we're working with Don Raleigh, the superintendent of schools there. They're working in conjunction with our office there. So I met with Ed Bryce over the phone. We still got some things to work out, but we're trying to get that worked out. We're also looking at possibly moving the testing center that's out at Cherokee Heights into the building that we're in because of traffic having to go through Sportsman Acres, and they have a security guard there, and they're stopping a lot of the people that are going out to test, and we think that that would actually pick up if we were in a better location. And of course, Sportsman Acres is going to lose all the tickets, but you know how it is. It's okay with us. But we're really trying to do something for the clients because they have made complaints to us about how they've been treated when they've been stopped. So we're working on that, and we've got 3 job fair flyers at the back. I didn't send them out. They're back there on the table. We've got one for Buffalo Wild Wings here at the plaza. We've got one for Taco Bueno, and then we also have one for the Ramona Casino. So Hunter put the flyers out there, and they're at the back, or I put them out there, but they're at the back. So take as many as you want. I know that it's in some of your all's back doors, so you may want more. We've got culinary classes. Larry Doherty's working on recruiting for culinary at Tulsa Tech, and we also have the local iron workers. This will probably be our last class for a while. So we've had, I think, about 10 classes up there, and placement has been great. And when we had the last graduation, all those guys all had jobs except one, and he was interviewing for one the next day. So it's been a very good program. I was asked by somebody down in administration to mention, we don't give out Walmart cards. Whoever brought that up in a committee meeting. We give out Visa cards. Visa cards.
Better.
Yeah.
Better.
And we do take our students over at Job Corps down to Walmart for shopping for the kids. They go on shopping like once a week, but we do not give Walmart cards. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, they're not, they don't have any stipulation on what they can buy?
They can use it. If they use it for gas, the thing you need to remember is if it's for $50 and you get $10 worth of gas, you're not going to be able to use that card again for about 2 to 3 days, because what they do is they have to wait until that is paid before you can actually use that card again. So you need to remember that if you're getting gas. We tell all of the participants when they get the card, if they can remember what we told them, but we tell them what they can use it for.
There's no stipulations for tobacco or alcohol?
No,
I mean,
it's their
money.
card, it's
Yeah,
their money.
Yeah.
They've got the money, and if they want to go get a twisted tobacco, they can get a twisted tobacco.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's up to them. And we also, I'm trying to think, Councilman, who was it? Austin, you asked about the sign at Claremore. Deborah said that sign should be put down tomorrow over
Yay.
at Claremore. We're thinking it will be tomorrow. It may not be tomorrow, but it'll be this week. And then we're also working on one for Salisaw. Well, they told us tomorrow, but sometimes that doesn't happen. But anyway, the one in Salisaw, we don't know, but it's been ordered. And then we've got an old sign. I don't know, I didn't know anything about it, but somebody said there's an old sign over at Hulbert at the housing that says career services. I don't know when that sign went out there. Anyway, we're gonna get it removed because we're not out there at the housing unit anymore. That's pretty much all I had, unless you have any
Any
questions.
questions for Diane? Well, Diane, my apologies on the cards. I thought they were Walmart, but now remember they are Visa. There's a department somewhere in the tribe that does Walmart gift cards. I'm just gonna have to jog my memory. I don't know. I thought it was you, but it's not. Anyways, hey,
It's easy to get mixed up. They are cards.
yeah, they're all cards. Yeah. Hey,
Thank you.
Hey, safe travels.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we got Executive Director Report, Mr. Ron Etheridge, but we got Miss Jennifer Pigeon filling in.
Good afternoon, everyone. Verna's also not going to be able to be here too, so if you have any questions about Head Start, be happy to take those back to her. On the college resource report, just a few updates that we have. We did receive 4,963 applications for fall. We've gone through all of those at least once. We've made 3,716 payments that'll go in the mail today. 503 students not eligible,
Can you repeat that number?
The second number.
3,000.
716.
16.
How many's eligible?
We mailed out 3716 so far. And we have 502 that are missing documents still. And the others are probably in process, ready for payment. We just haven't got there just yet.
So you,
Go ahead, sorry.
you will
Councilman.
fund 4963?
No, that's total applications.
Okay.
And so after we go through all of those, we've approved 3716, 503 not eligible, 502 still missing documents. So we're still trying to contact them. We'll give them till the end of the week. If not, we'll look at, move on. We had one new directed studies student this year. And concurrent enrollment, Friday was our deadline. We have 280 complete applications and 105 that came in on Friday that we're still looking through. So bear with us. It'll take us another day or two to get through all of that.
Councilor Taylor?
Do you have an idea what the average outlay is for a concurrent student?
Around $650 on average. Now, on the higher end of the scale, we have some students that take 9 hours, and we could pay up to $1,900 a student. So I
But that's
believe
rare.
That's rare.
Okay.
But yeah,
And am I correct? Their tuition is paid.
we pay
Not-
tuition, books, and fees.
Okay, I thought if a high school student took concurrent classes, their tuition was paid
It is.
through the state or,
Yes.
I didn't
Or a
think.
senior,
To the Oklahoma Higher Regions.
Okay,
and
but
it
not
weighs
for
up to
juniors.
6 hours.
Not
Yes.
for,
Right.
so you're paying tuition for juniors, and then,
3 hours of tuition for a senior. Because we do up to 9 hours for concurrent enrollment.
okay, state regent pays 6 hours tuition. Okay, and so then, fees and books and
Right.
all that other stuff that goes along with it. Okay,
Right.
very good, thank you.
280 complete.
Yes, Councilman Buzzer?
Jennifer?
Yes.
The directive student program, what was that? What's the-
Directed studies, that's where we'll send
Who
this,
is it?
Oh,
I
who
mean,
is
what
it?
is it for?
she's a medical doctor.
Medical doctor?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that surprises me that you got directive studies programs here and we only get one applicant.
Mm-hmm.
Is it,
Yeah, we had a total of 3 applicants, and she was the one selected.
what were the other two for?
I believe one was a nurse practitioner and the other substance abuse counselor. So when we get the applicants, we send them out to the departments that have requested those, and they'll do interviews and score the application, and based on their scoring, if they get accepted or not.
Well, that kind of shocks me that you don't get one for a medical doctor than one for nurse practitioner. We didn't approve the nurse practitioner, but that because of why? It's just making up for it.
Her score was very low, yeah.
Oh, I see. So there is a criteria for sure. All right, that just kind of shocks me that we want to get 3 applicants for the director of studies programs. I don't know if it's something we need to do to advertise. We don't advertise it, you don't imagine.
Well, it's pretty restrictive. You know, we've got a list of degrees that the executive directors have said they need, and we put that out there in February with our regular application, and, you know, it's distributed just with the scholarship
One
information.
more question. Do you have any for engineers?
No one has requested any at this time.
Is that right? Okay, thank you.
Councilman Garvin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jennifer, a couple of months ago, we talked about the people incarcerated prisons. Are we doing anything on that?
We're still working with administration to come up with some policies and what that program would look like if we were to launch that.
So there'll be something in the new budget maybe for that?
I don't know if we're ready that quick. Maybe something that'll come up at a later date.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Crittenden?
Jennifer, can you, it's probably a fault of mine, it's probably been somewhere in my paperwork, but will you get those directed studies?
The listed degrees?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm just curious, how many could we fund, just to, I know you can't get exactly.
Yeah.
How many could we fund if there was people applying?
It varies by the degrees we take. You know, if we've got medical doctors, they're a little more expensive than some of the others. So I would say maybe 8 to 10 new ones. Yeah, we've got, I believe, 8 in the hopper right now.
Is that fiscal year 8 during that?
Yeah, 8 per year.
We ought to fill those up, huh?
Yeah, we wish we could, but you know, we're just kind of doing what we can right now.
Thank you.
All right, Councilman Crittenden, anyone else? Councilman Lay?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and we can only finance 8 of them a year. I think, is that what you
Yeah,
said?
it'll be the continuing students that we have. There's 7, and we'll add this one,
Oh,
you know, and then
okay.
any new ones on top of that. So it just kind of varies with the degree that we add, how many we take.
Thank you.
Speaker Burke?
Yes. Jennifer, has the state cut back on their contribution to concurrent enrollment in the past 5 years?
No, they're still
Financial
waiving
aid, no
the
fin-
6,
what about
right, the 6
financial
hours
aid
are
to
still
have?
waived.
I think Counselor Warner was talking about that earlier, how the state has cut back on their financial aid on concurrent enrollment.
I can add, well, what they've done is they've cut where they used to pay, they'll waive the tuition, and they paid 70%, the institution paid 30. Well, they flipped it now, the institution catches, you know, the institution is not having to pay that other 70%. So, I mean,
That
that's
for
a-
concurrent, Councilman?
that is concurrent, yeah. So this, you know, the state takes the 30%, and then the institution is left with the other 70%.
Huh, interesting. Well, I guess since you're in the college world, do you foresee colleges still honoring concurrent enrollment with that?
We are right now.
That burden?
That's a big deal, and that's not a push that we want to get out of, because that helps springboard those kids on into other higher ed institutions, you know, and go on and get those degrees. That way we can help, you know, the more education you have, the better housing, the better health, you know, all the way around. I think that's the big push, and I like to see those kids. We've got juniors coming in there, and I've been explaining to them that Cherokee Nation, you know, they'll help 9 hours, you know, and then when you're a senior, they'll help 6 hours, or the state picks up that 6 hours, but then, you know, we, and technically it's not just the state anymore, it's the institution, but then they can get 3 other hours, and, you know, that's been a big push at Carl Albert, the more that we can do, and we're even looking into going, not just in our little area, but we're headed up north. You know, we're setting up some stuff. We have credentialed staff at Southside High School right now where the kids don't even have to leave campus. They can stay right there and get their Comp 1. We're working on getting their college algebra. I pushed all of our people to get up to Adair County. They're moving into Stillwell High School right now, and we're willing. The agenda at Carl Albert is, you know, we will flex to whatever you need.
Yeah.
So,
Good, yeah, good words. Well, I guess we got to just keep our ears low to the ground and see if there's maybe forecast of schools doing away with concurrent. I think it's a good cause, getting these kids, because I'd probably say 90% of these kids, and it may be higher, that they're going to go into the higher education field and may complete their higher education. These kids, because they got to have high standards to even qualify for a concurrent.
Right, I agree.
Have a high GPA and a high ACT, and these are kids that it's a safe bet. Yes,
Well, and
Councilman?
that's another thing too, you gotta look at in these institutions, that they have accreditation boards. And now they're holding, like at Carl Albert, it affects us where they want you to be accredited. If you teach this class, you have to have at least 18 hours in that field. So that's the part where we're starting to go back to the superintendents and ask them to hire people that are specifically accredited in, say, math or history or whatever. We can save the students some money on some fees and some other things, and they don't have to drive from, say, Stillwell to Carl Albert or wherever they're going for that. That way, then we can in-house that stuff right there and help with that process, you know.
Thank you. Jennifer, have you seen a decrease of concurrent applicants due to our deadline being pushed back a month?
No, we are actually about 60 applications above where we were last spring.
Okay. We don't start school till Thursday, and I visited with Ron. I think I CC'd you on some emails. And a lot of colleges started Monday. Hey, when did you guys start?
Started the 10th, last
10th?
Wednesday.
Okay.
Yep.
So some of colleges are starting before high school start.
Right.
And for us, our counselors, we're not able to get with our students, our senior students that will be concurrent enrollment, which being the deadline was this past Monday, we just put every kid that's eligible for concurrent and we sent you an application because we wasn't able to get face-to-face with the kid and see if they're actually going to be a concurrent student. I'm not sure if other schools in Oklahoma or within the 14 county is going to be able to adhere to this deadline. But anyways, yes, Councilman Taylor. Councilman Taylor.
I just want to point out that the principal of Pryor High School did a robocall to families reminding them that if you want to be concurrent, you need to get after it, about 3 weeks ago. And so there are other avenues too. If the schools really want to get on board with us, there are other avenues that they can get online with and see that the kids don't miss those deadlines.
And one thing
what was the purpose of pushing the deadline back a month?
The thing that we're coming up against is the schools are not letting the students enroll without some financial aid arrangements made before they enroll. So waiting until school started, the students didn't have an application in. We couldn't tell them if they were eligible or not. So in order to give them a letter that says Cherokee Nation's going to pay for your concurrent enrollment, here's your letter, we had to get those applications in early.
Okay.
And we're looking at doing the same thing with undergrad for renewal for spring. And we may have to have that deadline before Christmas.
Yes,
Well,
Councilman
thank you.
Warren.
And what I'll say too, is in my neck of the woods and where I work, we've put a lot of that on us, that there's funding out. We look at what kind of funding is out there, and then we tell our students, look, a deadline's a deadline, and you've got to get hooked up. We open our enrollment really early, and our enrollment ends tomorrow, so they still have that time. But all of those things out there, that money, like Councilor Taylor was saying, we've made sure to let them know, and we're looking into what can we do to make sure that our Cherokee students, because I tell you, I'm pushing more Cherokees. I want more at that school.
Absolutely.
And, and I've got, you look from my neck of the woods on up, there's a large pool of Cherokee citizens that are not educated.
Right.
And they're going to come in, and you've got to watch, do they have remediation? My goal is, if they need remediation and remedial courses, they need to know that if you're enrolled in 12 hours, 6 of those hours are 0 level you're at the end of it, you're going to pay for 12 hours, but you're only getting 6 hours of college credit. But I want to start some sort of program or have some way, and we have instructors willing to help where we can go where they live and help them get through that remediation. They can come down and take an acuplacer test as well as an ACT, and then when they come, they get 12 hours. At the end of it, they paid for 12. They also got 12 hours to 15 hours of credit. And I think we have a lot of broken trust where I see where people went wrong in the past that they didn't explain that to them, or they did, or, the person didn't understand. But I want everybody at our place to understand, hey, this is what you need to explain to them. But if we can mend that remediation before they get there, and that, and your concurrent students, they're going to be ready to go. Those are, that's your best and your brightest that are headed that way, but there's still a big pool of people out there. And, so, thank you.
Word.
And we did make contact. We sent the application out to superintendents, and then the outreach staff, they go out to all the public schools in the contiguous and 14 counties. That was distributed through email through them, and we posted it on the website all on the same day.
Well, again, we was able to fix the problem by getting all the applications turned in. So, but anyways, Councilman Byrd.
Yes, good report, Jennifer. If we do our jobs right here, the amount of monies we put towards rehab will decrease, and we can put more money into education, because it's all about education in those rural areas that we're talking about here. And I like the accountability part that Councilor Taylor, expressed there. We need to teach our people, you have to be responsible. There's deadlines involved here, and the school systems have to be involved. I've been part of helping kids fill out applications, and we knew who was going to do concurrent enrollment that spring, okay? So we do that. We would help the kids fill out, they already knew their class schedules going into the fall semester there. So, the schools have to take responsibility, the parents have to take responsibility, and we need to teach these students that, you have to get these things in a timely manner, because we can't fund everybody, but the ones that get their paperwork in on time, yes, we want to help those students.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Jennifer?
Good job.
Saying
Thank you,
none,
Jennifer.
Good report, Jennifer.
Appreciate you.
Next, Sequoia High School, Leroy Qualls.
Ms. Salazar and Ms. Carol Young.
Salzar, Miss Carol Young.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's good to see you as always. We started school last week. Going back to the concurrent enrollment issue, what we try to do is get our counselors and GT teacher together in the spring. We'll call for a meeting of students, prospective students, and then make a list. The counselors take those lists. When they come back to school July 25th, they check these kids to try to make sure that they've either done it or not. But again, we try to do that in the spring before school gets out. That doesn't catch everyone, but it catches almost all of them. Now getting to my report. We started last Monday. We got a full week of school in already. Got a good start, except for a bus breaking down. I think Councilman Walkenstick called me, and then someone else called me. It was smoking, had water lines burst. Intercom didn't work, and the bells didn't work. And this is all before 8 o'clock last Monday morning. Other than that, it's been great. Everything is smoothed off, and the teachers and faculty and the students are responding well with the no-bell system. It's interesting to watch. I told them we need a town crier to run down the hall and ring a bell.
Steve can do that.
We've got 381 students as of today enrolled. We have 70 kids in the dorms. We've got 50 concurrently enrolled students, and that's up, that's up about 15 to 17 kids. And 38 of those are Cherokee students. I'm going to cut my report short unless you've got a question for me, because I brought some guests today that are responsible for helping our school be what it is. They do a fantastic job. And if their heads start swelling behind me, just let me know, just nod.
Is there any question?
Let me tell you, they do a lot of work Physical work, they've moved twice in the last 2 years. They jump right in there and grab those chairs and tables, and they move those. And it's been a chore the last 2 years, but everything is kind of getting better for us now. And our dorm administrator is a retired Northeastern counselor, Mrs. Carol Young. And I'm going to let her and Alicia Salazar come up to the table to report on the dorm. And I told them to hold it under 45 minutes. I mean, it was 5 minutes, I think. They've got a short PowerPoint presentation, and it all should last about 5 minutes.
All right, 5 minutes.
We're going to need this.
Yes. Good afternoon, and I'm glad to be here to present to you a little snapshot of your students that live at Sequoia, that live in the dorms. And Alicia will start, what do you think? But it was interesting listening to you talk about higher education, because that was my field. I was there 25 years at Northeastern, and you talked about starting programs. I started many of the programs there, the pre-med, the pre-dental program, and the importance of what you said was so I'm very fortunate, I feel, to be now at Sequoia, where I can be with the kids before they go. And I thought it was interesting that we talked about preparing them. I believe that the dorms prepare our kids not only for college, but for life in general. And I tell our students, once you check in as a freshman, you are 4 years ahead of that college freshman, because you have already been independent. And they do very well when they leave us. So I'll just go through this briefly. I put down there a model program, and the reason I put a model program was because when I was at Northeastern, I worked with high schools all over Oklahoma to recruit Native Americans into college. And when I came to Sequoia to work in the dorm, after my first year there, I could not believe what the school provides for a high school student. You just can't go anywhere and do that anywhere else and prepare a kid like that in the dorms before they hit the real world. And one of the things that I think was a real compliment to the Cherokee tribe was the BIE evaluators were at Sequoia here a couple of months ago, and all the managers had to meet with them and explain their programming and everything. And they had been to all the boarding schools in the United States, and they said that Sequoia was by far the most outstanding boarding school that they had visited in the whole United States. And I thought that that was really a compliment to how well the school is run. Okay, so we're here to tell a short before and after. Like Mr. Qualls said, we've kind of been in a renewal phase for the past 2 or 3 years, and it's true. Alicia and I can now move very heavy objects in very heavy heat. But last year, this is where our dorm students started school. And it was the old Jack Brown Treatment Center. It was just like the old time boarding school, because we had bunk beds in there and we would have 10 students per room. And it got a little old after a while, and the students wanted their rooms back in the dorms, but that is where we were last year. This year is the after. We are now in some very nice, totally refurnished and remodeled dorms, from roof to ceilings, everything, floors, rooms, furniture, everything. And we are still moving in right now. We were like Mr. Qualls mentioned, what they didn't have at the school. We've kind of been the same way. We just have one computer up for her and I now, and we're still looking through boxes for very important forms. So the most important thing was we got the kids in on time. But we are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have 3 shifts. We have an excellent staff there. They are very dedicated to taking care of these young people that are entrusted to our care. And their number one job is to keep them safe, physically, mentally, in every way. We do everything with the kids, so we're a family with them. We're all very dedicated to the number one reason Sequoia is there, and that is academic success. We work very closely with the school. We work with Miss Heath, Mr. Qualls, Miss Choate, all the teachers. We coordinate very closely because we're the parents of these kids, and we are the ones who are supposed to make sure that they're passing and that they get their homework done and that they get tutoring. While they live with us, we just provide your total home environment, and a very important part to them is recreation. We take them to bowling, skating, movies, festivals, operas. We take them to all their basketball, all the sports games. They love going to be, they're big fans, and so they love for us to take them. So we spend a lot of time on that, and here is a picture of some of our kids playing volleyball. They're just like any other kid. This is home away from home. When they get back home, when they come to the dorms after school, first thing they want to do is eat. So they fix their food, and then they're ready for their activity, and this is them playing volleyball. We provide as much cultural activities as possible. This is a picture of a young lady beading. One of our staff is a very good bead worker and is teaching our kids how to bead. We have all kinds of games for them. We have television sets that still have to be hung, but we have dish TV. We provide them a home away from home there in the dorms. And as you can see, there they are in the brand new facility there, and they're just loving it. And this is the other favorite thing they like to do. They like to go places. They love getting on the bus and going off campus to events, and our staff chaperone them. They watch them very closely. The boys can't sit together. The girls have to always be on one side, boys on the other side. So there is really intense supervision for their recreation. Sequoia has a lot of alumni. Sterling Harjo, you may have heard of him. He's an award-winning film director, producer. His mother lived in the dorms, and she always told him how much she enjoyed it. So he made special arrangements for our students to have a private performance by his nationally known company. And we took them to Tulsa. They performed with our students. They spent time with them, and our kids just loved it. And they took individual pictures with our kids. A lot of our kids had already been fans of them, and for them to have the opportunity to have a private performance with them was very, very enjoyable to them. We take care of all their physical and emotional health care needs. Our staff spend a large amount of their time hauling kids to dental, medical, behavioral health appointments. Kids are sick. They are sick, and the staff are there to take care of them just like at home. Their safety is number one. Our staff are responsible not only for the care of the students, but for the dorms also. We have fire drills. We are very involved with Mr. Crittenden in the emergency management plan in case there is a storm or something. We address all kinds of things like bullying, suicide, confidentiality. Staff are trained yearly on issues relating to adolescence. And believe me, we deal with everything in the dorms. We were very fortunate these past 3 years to have the 21st Century Grant. Our kids, all of our kids were required to be in it. After school, they stayed at the school, and they worked with Mr. Tony Speaks. And during that time, they're taught life skills, just numerous things. They were taught how to sew, paint, draw, music lessons, health. anything about health, running, they've learned their culture there. They've been taught dance, traditional dance and customs, basket making. Just a wonderful cultural program, and we hope that we have it another 3 years. Their spiritual life is very important. We do not try to push that on them, but we have the chapel. And each Wednesday, our staff take the kids that want to go to church. We have a lot of children that are come from very traditional families, and we do allow them to bring their families will ask if they can come in and put medicine in their rooms, and we do allow that. We take our kids back and forth for their airplane flights. We do absolutely everything you can imagine with these kids, so we're all busy. And on this slide here, I put, it's all about them. These are our kids in the dorm. This is a random survey of kids that we took here from the kids that are currently in Sequoia. And we asked them some questions, and this was their answers. Why I chose to live in the dorms. And remember, our kids come from various backgrounds. They come from backgrounds where they have really strong family systems, support systems, and they get all they need. We have kids clear at the other spectrum, so it's all mixed. But when they were asked this question, I thought their answers were just very telling for the dorms. So my mom wouldn't have to worry about an extra child around the house, and she would have extra money for herself and my sister. I chose to live in the dorms because my parents and I don't get along. We always fight, and my mom will kick me out. I have to live in the dorms because I live out of state. Many of our kids are from your different counties. And one, I want to better my education, and it's too far to drive. And I chose to live in the dorms because it will help me in my future. What I like most about the dorm, by living in the dorms, it allows me to have my own bed and room. I like being able to stay in the honor hall. I love the quietness and being by myself, with the exception of having one roommate, and it feels like home and has a friendly environment. I like the good meals, activities, and the trips the dorms take us on. We live by a very strict structure and schedule in the dorm. Everyone is treated equally, and sometimes they don't like the rules and the structure, so we asked them about this, and this is what they said. They said, I think it's great. It gets us ready for adulthood. I feel they are necessary, or else the dorms would be out of hand, which is very true. It is good to have structure in a teen's life. They are fair, and I thought that that was complimentary to the staff. My thoughts about this are good because once you get older, you have to be responsible about things. The dorms are being refurbished and remodeled for your comfort. How do you feel about this? I think it's good. It makes it feel more like home. I feel it has made the dorms better. I love it. I think it is great that the dorm staff are making everybody more comfortable and happy. I feel good here, and the living conditions are better. Excited. The buildings have been here for years. Everything is becoming a whole lot better. Tell us in one sentence, the dorms mean a roof over my head and food in my stomach. I know that it is a place I can count on. It gets me away from all of the stressful things at home. The dorm is like a second home to me. It is my 200 square feet. I get to sleep and bathe at. It is all right, not bad. It feels right. It means that I am learning how to live without my mom, and without her waking me up, I am learning responsibility. This is the modern Sequoia kid right here. This is it. These kids are addicted to technology and computers, and that was what they're always doing. They're on their computers. They get in trouble for it a lot. We have honor halls that have been redone totally. They're very kind of elaborate for dorm rooms, but the students that get the privilege, they sign a contract. These kids keep immaculate rooms. They make the highest grades. They have the best manners. And they are so proud of those rooms that they often are, the other students are jealous of them for getting in there. But this is an example of how the kids are taught to live at Sequoia. Every day they have to make their beds like this, trash up close up and everything. And there are two little twins in the honor hall, and I thought it's so cute, their beds are even twins. So that was just one thing about it too, Mr. Qualls is the leader in all this, and he is the one who has really put a lot of effort into changing the dorms for the better, and done it without, I would say, almost no money, because it's through his connections that he has gotten a lot of this new furniture. We have beautiful paintings we're getting ready to hang. We are getting brand-new washing machines and dryers for the dorms. They have everything new in there, new television sets, and all from Mr. Qualls going out and garage sailing all the time. So anyhow, we're going to have a open house at Christmas, and we will be inviting you so you can come up and see the totally refinished dorms and get to meet the kids that live there. And they just, it is amazing to see a freshman come in, meek, mild, and scared, and unachieving, and to leave self-confident, ready for the world, and become very successful. And I believe it's because they've been given a 4-year head start above a college student by living in the dorms. Anyhow, that's it. It'll take more 5 minutes.
Good report. Yeah, give her a hand. Yeah, Gail's alumni of Sequoia in the back there.
Oh, everybody.
Any other proud alumni of Sequoia? Any? No takers? All right.
My son is.
Joe's son is won a first state championship for a boys basketball program.
You are.
I am. They had a hard time keeping me away from the girls over there, though. But
That's why they built the fence.
that's why they built a fence over there. There's an electric fence. I'm just kidding. Anyways, that concludes your report. Ms. Salazar, got anything else to say?
She's
No?
good.
She's good. They go bowl some awesome sauce. Good job. All right. Well, down to old business, none, new business. Announcements, next meeting September the 12th. I hear a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved. Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right.
10 minutes.